Hello KABM student! Our topic for today is about the balance sheet in Fundamentals of Accounting in Business Management 2. Our learning competencies, the learners must be able to identify the elements of SFP or Statement of Financial Position and describe each of them. Second, classify the elements of SFP into current and non-current items. Third, prepare an SFP using the report form and the account form with proper classification of items as current and non-current. Let's talk about balance sheet. So, what is balance sheet? It is also known as Statement of Financial Position. It includes the amounts of company's total assets, liabilities, and owner's equity, which in totality provides the condition of a company on a specific date. It is also used to present a picture at a point in time of what the business owns, or also known as asset, and what it owes, or also known as liabilities. Dito sa balance sheet, makikita ang summary ng financial condition ng isang kumpanya. In the Statement of Financial Position, usually consists of the following types of accounts. These are permanent accounts, temporary accounts, and the contra-asset accounts. Permanent accounts. These are the accounts that you see in the SFP. The permanent accounts are permanent in a sense that their balances remain intact from one accounting period to another. Assets, liabilities, and owner's equities are permanent accounts. They are called permanent because the accounts are retained permanently in the SFP until their balances become zero. However, the temporary accounts are found in the Statement of Comprehensive Income. Temporary accounts, unlike permanent accounts, will have zero balances at the end of the accounting period. Lastly, the contra-asset accounts. Contra-asset accounts are accounts that are presented under the asset portion of the SFP but are reductions to the company's assets. This includes the allowance for doubtful accounts and accumulated depreciation. Allowance for doubtful accounts is a contra-asset to accounts receivable. Why? These represent the estimated amount that the company may not be able to collect from the delinquent customers. Second is the accumulated depreciation. Is a contra-asset to the company's property, plant, and equipment. This account represents the total amount of depreciation booked against the fixed assets of the company. And the example of fixed assets include the land, machinery, buildings, furniture, and other tangible assets. In the next slides, we will talk about the three elements of Statement of Financial Position. These are the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. So first, the assets. Assets are all resources controlled by the business as a result of past transactions and events which economic benefits are derived. In other words, assets are the things of value that are owned and used by the business in its operation, like cash, accounts receivable, inventories, PPEs or property, plant, and equipment, land, and so on. These assets are classified as current and non-current assets. First, what is current assets? Current assets are items that are listed on a business statement of financial position that are expected to be used or realized into cash within one accounting period or a year. Ibig sabihin, ang current assets ay pwedeng masold or makonsume sa loob ng isang taon or tinatawag nating fiscal year. And the example of current assets are cash, cash equivalents, accounts receivable, interest receivable, notes receivable, and other receivable such as from loans, rents, sales of non-current assets, and etc. And other examples are inventories, supplies, prepaid rent, and prepaid insurance. Second, what is non-current assets? Non-current assets are items that are listed on a business statement of financial position that cannot be used or realized into cash within one accounting period or a year. Non-current assets also describe a company's long-term investments or assets. This means that it cannot easily be converted into cash. And the examples are property, equipment, furniture and fixture, intangible assets such as brand names, patents, and copyright. The second element of statement of financial positions is liabilities. Liabilities are financial obligation of the company to its creditors. They have to claim over the assets of the business. These liabilities are classified also as current and non-current liabilities, the same as assets. Ibig sabihin ng liabilities ay isang obligasyon ng isang kumpanya na kailangan nilang bayaran sa kanilang pinagkakautangan. These liabilities are also classified into non-current and current liabilities. So first, what is current liabilities? Current liabilities are liabilities that should be paid and realized within a year after year-end date. Ang current liabilities ay isang pagkakautang ng isang kumpanya na kailangang bayaran sa loob ng 12 buwan or isang taon. And these examples are notes payable, accounts payable, accrued expense, interest payable, unearned revenue, loans payable, interest payable, salaries payable, and utilities payable. Next is non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities are liabilities that are to be paid for more than a year from the year-end date. Non-current liabilities are also known as long-term financial obligations that are not due within the following 12 months period, which means you can pay it more than a year. And these examples are bonds payable, mortgage payable, long-term debt or long-term loan. Third and last elements of statement of financial position is owner's equity. Owner's equity is the residual interest of the owners of the business or what was left of the assets after paying the liabilities is the right of the owners. It is expressed in accounting equation as asset minus liabilities equals owner's equity. Under this owner's equity is capital and drawing. Capital is the investment made by the owner to start up a business in the form of cash or other assets. Drawing is the amount taken by the owner from the business for personal use. The Statement of Financial Position or SFP has two forms, the report form and the account form. Report form. It is a form of SFP or Statement of Financial Position wherein the accounts are presented vertically. Ibig sabihin, pinipresent ito ng patayo. And based on the given sample, nauuna ang assets, followed by the liabilities, and then the owner's equity, or we called it also the equity. The second is account form. It is a form of SFP or Statement of Financial Position wherein the accounts are presented horizontally. As you can see, in the format of account form, the assets are presented on the left side while the liabilities and the equity are on the right side of the balance sheet. It will look like the debit and credit balances of an account. I have here the example of an adjusted trial balance of B. Aquino Law Firm, and we will prepare on how to do the Statement of Financial Position. A while ago, we already discussed the elements of SFP or Statement of Financial Position, and we classified it as current and non-current. In the unadjusted trial balance of B. Aquino Law Firm, the cash, the accounts receivable, the office supplies, and the prepaid insurance are classified as current assets. So we will add the current assets, which is the amount of 26,400, and the accounts receivables of 37,800, and the office supplies of 14,400, which is the total current asset is 80,720 pesos. And also, the office equipment and the library are classified as non-current assets. And we will add the office equipment of 37,500 and the library, which is the amount of 91,000, and the total non-current asset is 128,500. We will add the total current assets and the total non-current assets, which is the amount of 80,720 pesos plus 128,500 pesos is equal to 209,220 of the total assets of B. Aquino Law Firm. As you can see, nailagay na natin sa Statement of Financial Position ng B. Aquino Law Firm ang kanilang assets, which is the current assets and non-current assets. And their total assets is 209,220 pesos. Ang next naman natin gagawin ay kukunin natin ang current liabilities and non-current liabilities based sa unadjusted trial balance ng B. Aquino. Makikita natin sa unadjusted trial balance ang accounts payable at ang notes payable, which classified as current liabilities. Itong dalawang accounts titles na to ay pag-a-add natin na nagkakahalaga ng 6,500 at ang notes payable ay nagkakahalaga ng 24,000, and the total current liabilities is 30,500. Since wala namang non-current liabilities sa unadjusted trial balance ng B. Aquino, we will just put 0, and the total liabilities is 30,500 pesos. Tapos na nga natin kunin ang current and non-current liabilities. Ang sunod naman natin gagawin ay ang owner's equity. Sa owner's equity, makikita ang ending capital ng B. Aquino na nagkakahalaga ng 178,720 pesos. So, paano ba nakuha ang ending capital kung makikita sa unadjusted trial balance na ang capital ng B. Aquino ay 145,000 pesos? So, ganito lang yon. So, ang gagawin natin, kukunin muna natin ang Statement of Changes in Equity ng B. Aquino Law Firm. So, first, kunin natin ang capital ng B. Aquino Law Firm noong April 1, 2022 na nagkakahalaga ng 145,000. Since wala namang additional investment ang B. Aquino, we will just put 0, and ang profit ay nagkakahalaga ng 39,720. So, paano ba nakuha ang profit? So, makikita natin sa trial balance na ang professional fees ay nagkakahalaga ng 62,700 pesos. So, ima-minus natin yon sa salaries expense and utilities expense na nagkakahalaga ng 19,200 and 3,780 pesos. So, ganun lang ang pagkuha ng profit. Tapos, i-add natin ang capital ng B. Aquino na 145,000 pesos at ang profit na nagkakahalaga ng 39,720 pesos na ang total ay 184,720. Tapos, ile-less natin siya sa withdrawals or also known the B. Aquino drawing na nagkakahalaga ng 6,000 pesos at ang capital ending ng B. Aquino ay 178,720 pesos. At ito na nga ang kabuuan ng Statement of Financial Position ng B. Aquino Law Firm. Makikita natin na ang total assets at ang total liabilities and owner's equity ay parehas na 209,220 pesos. Always remember in the statement of financial position that the total asset and the total liabilities and owner's equity must be equal. Just like in the accounting equation of asset equals liabilities plus owner's equity. We have here the two forms of statement of financial position, the report form and the account form of B. Aquino Law Firm. Always follow the format of statement of financial position at huwag na huwag kakalimutan ang paglagay ng headings, which is the names of the company. Second, what kind of preparation, which is the statement of financial position, and the date. And the next one is the asset, followed by the liabilities and owner's equity. Thank you for listening and see you in the next discussion.